What is happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Gonna head out and take a little ride in the M3.
Swear they never really understand me. I need a comment like I need a Grammy. She laced the flow with her designer panties. Yeah, we eating plenty. Check the pantry from the sound waves to the rebel lines, from the tattered bridges to expensive dishes. Now we eating ends with these new beginnings. Yet to sign a major for the bankroll, but thank the Lord that it dies in penitentiary. Night sky, but my inside is empty. Mighty flashy with a bird.
Just cleaned in here. Look at how clean it is. Nice and neat and organized. Yes, that needed to happen. Got all my detail stuff up there. Still have a bunch of stuff in the other garage that I gotta transfer over, but some old parts. Wonderful dryer and tools. I love it, man. This garage is great. I always just keep my detailing bag in here. I actually gotta clean. If you guys see this, it's like oil and grease all over this trunk. So I got to do like a deep cleaning session on this trunk. I haven't done it since I bought it. Got the backpack in here with all my drone stuff. Gonna try and get some drone footage while we're out in the middle of nowhere. But this is the mount that I use for inside of the car, so we're just gonna do a little ride along today. Then after the ride, I'm gonna go and do a nice wash on the car. So yeah, your typical Sunday filming. A little joyride in the M3 and a wash.
So negative, how they envy how I edit it. Live my life just like it's precious. Just give me the mic and light it under lights. I put a knife and pressure, they fabricated. Yeah, I've been as quick.
I haven't used this mount in this car before, so I don't know. Hopefully it's not too shaky for you guys. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today's gonna be a little bit different than usual. The OG subscribers will know what's up. This is just a ride along, a chat and chill. Yeah, we're just gonna cruise. I'm gonna keep this rather raw and unedited. I want to basically take this car out with all of the new stuff that we've done to it. Suspension, new wheels, the little muffler delete thing. I don't really consider that like a modification. Yeah, I just haven't really had a chance to drive this thing in on some nice roads for a while. So we're just gonna take it out and kind of talk about what's going on with the channel and everything right now, and the new car and decisions and all that. So, but first off, obviously we're gonna grab some coffee. It is a beautiful Sunday, 60 degrees here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's be 65 today or something. It's absolutely gorgeous, perfect day to be out for a nice Sunday drive. And I find that these Sunday afternoons are the best because no one's really out on these roads that I go to, so. I've really enjoyed daily driving this car. I thought it was going to be a huge transition from the F30, but I've actually quite enjoyed it. It hasn't been bad whatsoever. Granted, you know, I work from home. I don't have to be at an office or anything. I kind of work my own hours, so it's a little bit different in my situation. I can imagine someone that was driving to an office every day, this probably wouldn't be the ideal car because, dude, it drinks gas. This thing drinks gas, and I'm really starting to realize it now that I drive it every day. So I don't have to do too much driving every day. My usual day is just, you know, wake up, hit the gym, do some emails, get some work done, and then I run out, get a bunch of errands done, meetings, whatever, come back, do some more work, and then I'm filming. Generally in the afternoons, I'm filming or editing. I don't know if you guys have realized, but Sensational also has a YouTube channel now, and I do all of the editing for that channel. So that is part of what I do. I make videos for people, I do editing, I do marketing, affiliate marketing, stuff like that. That's my gig, that's what I'm into. So if you guys want to subscribe to that channel, feel free. You'll notice that a lot of the editing styles are very similar to what I have going on over here, but I really enjoy doing that. Editing is a lot of fun for me. And speaking of which, I finally bought a new computer. I needed a new computer so bad. I've been running this iMac from like 2009. Dude, your boy's been cranking out videos on an old iMac. And finally, I upgraded to the brand new iMac, 27-inch, yeah, 4K Retina display, all that good stuff. But you know, for someone like me, I make sure that I earn those kind of steps. I didn't just go out and buy a new computer when I started doing YouTube or anything like that. I wanted to make sure that I got to a level where I pretty much maxed everything out with the resources that I had. So I used my Mac as much and as often as possible, and I just maxed it out to its capabilities. And it's now finally time that I upgrade and take myself to the next level. And I think that it's just gonna make the videos better. I'm able to finally upgrade the software. And so right now I'm running Final Cut Pro, but it's an older version, and I can't upgrade the version of the software without upgrading the computer. So I was literally maxed out pretty much on everything. And now that I have the drone, I'm doing some shooting in 2.7K, higher resolution. This is all 1080, but the drone footage is in 2.7. My computer right now just has a really hard time processing that 2.7K. So I'm very excited to finally be able to edit things without sitting there and just freezing the computer every 5 minutes. Super annoying. So yeah, these videos are a little bit different than usual, guys. I pretty much just talk about what's going on right now, chat about the car, we go for a nice little drive, new things that are developing on the channel, and obviously, you know, the big elephant in the room, the car search, which has been just it's been a process for sure. Trying to find a new car has been a process, but I remain extremely patient, and I am in no rush whatsoever of this car. And if I needed to, I could get another car to just kind of tide me over and whatever, like a beater or something, which, you know, I did think about doing, but there's really no need to. I'm having the rod bearings done in a couple of weeks here. I ordered all the parts for it. One with BE rod bearings and ARP bolts, and then just OEM motor mounts, OEM valve cover, valve cover gasket. And we are also painting the calipers Nardo gray, which I think will look really good with this car. In addition to the themes, I want to actually do a Nardo gray, or just a gray, I guess you could say, roll cage, a half roll cage in this car, which I think would be sick. I know that a lot of people are probably gonna hate on that. I don't really care, I think it looks really cool. I'm all about going to car shows and taking this car to car shows, and I do want this car to kind of be in more car shows now that I don't have the F30, and that was really my car show car. I'm definitely gonna be taking this car into more car shows, so I think a roll cage, half roll cage would look absolutely stunning in this car. I was looking at some last night from Studio RSR, and that's likely who I'm gonna order it from. I am talking with a few companies for headlights, probably gonna go with Bay Optics. The ones that I'm doing are similar to the ones that I had on the F30. They're not complete circles like the super old school style, but they're like the half or like 3/4 circle where it's like flat on the bottom, and then they have like the LED switch back up top. I think those look really, really good. I'm gonna keep it as classic and as simple as possible, just black housing with the LEDs. I don't wanna do anything fancy, no carbon fiber, none of that stuff. Just keep it very, very basic. And then I just ordered a Valvetronic exhaust because I don't know if you guys can tell through the video, but the droning in this car is horrible. The muffler delete sounds cool from the outside, but it is not functional. Like for everyday use, it just sucks. It's super annoying. It's loud as heck. And it's just not my thing, man. I'm not, you know, if I was back in my 20s, maybe, maybe even I was like hooning around, maybe that would be something that I'd be into, but I just wanted to do it for the video and kind of hear how it sounds. V8 sounds amazing from the outside with the muffler delete, but it's just the droning is absolutely atrocious. So I went with a Valvetronic exhaust system so I can open and close it whenever I want, and I did the black tips, which I think is going to look absolutely superb. In addition to that, I also ordered from Keys Motorsports an AFE carbon fiber intake system for this car. All that stuff should be coming this week, so it's going to be an exciting week for the M3. Lots of updates, and I just love, man, I love taking my time, like slowly modifying this car and enjoying the process of each modification, because I think that's important. 1 second.
Iced latte with coconut milk, and you wanted it light ice?
Yes, sir.
Anything else today?
That'll be it.
$4.96 to window.
Thank you. So yeah, got a bunch of stuff coming in for the M3. It's gonna be a big week for the M3. I'm super excited about that. I should have kept the camera rolling, because the guy who gave me my Starbucks was a subscriber. And he had like a white 3 Series out there in the lot. He was all about it. That's so funny, man. It's YouTube is weird. It's just crazy like that, because I'm starting to have these interactions with people more and more just out and about that, you know, follow the channel or follow the cars, and I love that, dude. I love that I'm able to affect people and just help them in any way possible, and that I get to meet them sometimes when I'm lucky enough out in public, when I'm just kind of doing my thing. It really shows you the impact that you have just making these videos and doing what you love. So I love that, dude. So cool. So the E90 is really coming along. I'm enjoying the process. I'm thoroughly enjoying just taking my time while I'm modifying this car, because the F30, it was great. Like, I loved it, don't get me wrong, but I kind of blew through a lot of stuff really, really fast with that car. And I don't feel like I really got to enjoy each step of the way, each part of the process. It all just kind of happened so fast, each mod, that it was like one thing, this base level thing, and then it was this super modified thing, and I just didn't really get to experience the in-between stages as much as I would have hoped to. And it's really just a whole different experience in this car because of it being an M3 and everything. So I really like the way that I'm kind of approaching this build, taking a little more time with stuff and really enjoying each and every part of this car. So right now the car is set up on H&R Sport Springs. I believe they're Sport Springs. The funny thing is they came in red when they arrived, and the guy at ECS promised me that these were Sport Springs, but as far as I'm concerned, I mean, I could be totally wrong. I've always thought that the red meant that it was race, and I looked it up in like the E90 forums, and this is like a huge misconception or just confusion, I guess, that the Sport Springs are red. I don't know. But these are the H&R Sport Springs on this car. They're okay. Like, if you guys are looking for springs on your E90 M3, I honestly would probably just do the Swift springs, because after I did a little more research, I found that the Swift, they ride a little bit better and the drop is just a little bit lower. I don't think that the ride is that bad. They're pretty harsh, but they're not that bad in this car. Luckily, we have some decent roads out here in North Carolina, but the drop just isn't enough for me. The front sits super high, it's like almost stock, and the back tucked, so it's kind of weird how that happened. But and I'm sure it's, for the purists, they do that because that's the best performance. For me personally, I'm switching to coils because I would like another 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch lower on the front, and the back's fine for me. I would just like to see the front a little bit lower. So, and I think the ride could be a lot better too. So I'm doing coils, and the coils I'm looking at are Fortune Auto, which has been a company that's kind of a smaller company, which I like. I like working with smaller companies, and they're all handmade coilover systems. I believe they're out of Virginia. I could be wrong, don't quote me on that. But they seem to be a fantastic company, and so I'm going to be doing the Fortune Auto, I think they're the 500 series coilovers for this car. Really, really excited. I've never had a set of coilovers on a BMW, so I'm excited to see how they work, how the car reacts to them, and just how the drivability is. I'll definitely do a thorough review, install, all that DIY video stuff when that happens. And yeah, as far as the car, I'm also gonna be doing the strut bars. There's like the Dynan strut bars or sway bars. I'm gonna be doing those. And some like, and some real basic stuff. I want to do all of the bolt-on stuff, do a tune. I have a tune in mind that I'm going to do. I want to make sure that I get all of the maintenance stuff done beforehand. I'm literally in like a week or two going to be doing the rod bearings. I have it all lined up, ordered all the parts for it, finally. I had been dragging my feet on that for a while just because things were so busy and I was not able to get this car in the shop. But some time has freed up a little bit, and I'm going to go ahead and take this car into Dynamic Auto Tune. I ordered all the stuff for it, and we're going to finally get it knocked out. Really, really excited about that. Can't wait to see how it transforms the car, and just like the overall peace of mind knowing that the rod bearings are done and I got them out of the way. The other thing that I'm going to be attacking is the fuel breather valve on this car. It's a common issue that these they go bad over time, and you'll notice a weird idling. The idle just kind of goes up and down pretty heavily in these cars, especially when you fill up the gas, and a lot of that has to do with the fuel breather valve. It seems like the install is rather easy, so I'm just going to take care of that myself in my garage, and I think that'll be a good DIY video. I don't see a lot of videos out there on that, so that'll be a good one for me to film for you guys. Man, it is a beautiful fall day. I mean, absolutely stunning out here today. The car just hit 73,000 miles. It's crazy, man. 73,000 miles in an E90 M3, and this thing feels feels great. Like no issues whatsoever, knock on wood. No issues whatsoever. It honestly has just been such a fantastic car to own. Like I've really, really enjoyed this E90 M3. So yeah, this E90 has really ignited a passion in me for some older model BMWs, some older M3s that just kind of need some TLC to be brought back to life. And this car just needed that. When I picked it up, it wasn't in bad shape, but it certainly wasn't in great shape. And you could tell that the guy who owned it before me just didn't really take care of it. He probably parked it outside and just kind of went to crap. So I've really enjoyed bringing this car, I mean, so far aesthetically and some minor maintenance things, to a good position in its life, and it feels solid now. It looks really, really clean. I'm just really happy with it, and I'm really happy with how far it's come in such a short amount of time. I just bought this car 4 months ago, like literally to the date, 4 months ago today. So I've had the car for 4 months, and I just love it, man. I can't say enough about the S65. If you guys have an opportunity to drive one of these, make sure you do it, man, because it's just such a fun car. And yeah, that V8 screams. It's just, oh god, this engine with an exhaust, it's mental, man. It just sounds so good. Sounds so good. The new F80 and F82, all the F30s, they don't sound nearly as cool as the E90s, and I'm very confident when I say that. It's a totally different sounding car. And if you own an E90, E92, E93, M3, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and you know exactly how it feels to drive this car. I don't know if I'll ever be able to sell this car because it's just iconic, dude. This car is super special. It is really, really special. The only way that I would possibly sell this car is if one came up that was in just as good, if not better condition, and it was manual. I would entertain that. I would definitely entertain that. There's nothing wrong with the DCT, it's great, but I think that you're gonna get you're just gonna get a better driving experience out of a manual version of this car. The DCT is fun, but I feel like I've had my fill with DCT and automatic trans, and I just wanna go back to manual for these cars. But even so, it would be really hard to get rid of this one just because I've done a lot of work bringing this back to life. Ooh, tight corner. So yeah, it's 4 months of ownership with this car. I've absolutely loved it, man. This car has just been a blessing to me. And you know, luckily I haven't really had any major issues. I've had like weird minor things, that electrical and stuff like that, lights, but I sorted all of it out. I replaced most of the fuses in the car. I checked a lot of the wiring. I removed anything that was aftermarket that was just silly and didn't need to be there, and fixed up a lot of the wiring for like the radar and the dash cam and all that stuff. And now the car, it just functions great. It needed a new battery when I first got it. The battery was over 10 years old. This battery in this car was actually 11 years old when I bought it, and the guy didn't replace it. And he had told me when he gave it to me or sold it to me, you know, he said, yeah, it's having this battery discharge issue. And I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. And like, I looked it up, and immediately, you know, it says you need a new battery. And I'm like, well, I mean, he surely wasn't like taking this thing too far. Like, it's probably a 5-6 year old battery. Turns out the battery is 11 years old. You have an 11-year-old battery in this car. So naturally, I replaced the battery immediately. All the issues went away, and it's been flawless ever since. As far as favorite modifications to the car so far, steering wheel, hands down. This steering wheel has changed the experience of driving this car. Absolutely beautiful steering wheel. This with the paddles, man, I love it. It's just a gorgeous steering wheel. That, in addition to the wheels, I really like the wheels that I did on this car, the Variant wheels. I think they look superb. Variant is also coming out with a whole new fleet of wheels that I'm considering about buying another set. I would buy them in a size that would work for this car and whatever the next car may be. So it's not like I'm just buying sets of wheels to, you know, not use them. or not use the old ones. I would definitely use both of them. Just depends on which car would get which wheels. These roads, man. I just love these North Carolina roads. I always head south. I'm in North Carolina, but like South North Carolina, like Southern North Carolina, like right on the border of South Carolina. And I always head south and go into the country because they have some really, really great roads out here where you can just drive for miles and there's nobody around. And I just love taking the car out here and just kind of spinning on these roads. Perfect Sunday fall afternoon. It's absolutely beautiful out here. The roads are perfect. Not a lot of people on the roads. Perfect, man. It's just a great day to be out driving. I personally have been super busy with work. I haven't had a chance to do much. I don't even know how I'm getting 4 videos per week done. You guys, when I started my channel a little over a year ago, I don't know how long it's been, year and a couple of months, I told myself that I would do 3 to 4 videos every week, and I've stuck to that. I've literally done 3 to 4 videos every single week. And I'll tell you right now, if you do YouTube, you know that that is not easy. But the fact that I was able to stick to 3 to 4 videos every single week for like a year is awesome. I think I'm doing a good job. So I'm really, really happy with how things have gone on the channel and the growth and just everything, man. It's just been a lot of fun building this channel up and watching the progression in the cars and the changes with the F30 leaving and something new coming in. So there are a lot of people who are very upset and emotionally charged that I got rid of the F30, which I find kind of silly, to be honest with you. Change is good, man. I embrace change. I think it's just something that not enough people embrace. And anytime that I'm getting comfortable in life, like I felt like I was really comfortable when I had the F30 in this car, I always tend to just switch things up because I don't know, I just like to feel a little more alive sometimes. And I think that anytime you're getting comfortable in life, that's a bad sign. Complacency kind of will ruin you. So I tend to flip the script whenever it gets a little too comfy. And so that was what we did. We sold it, got rid of it. I finished that build, man. I did everything that I wanted to do to that car. I thought it looked great, ran great, and it was time for it to go. It was time to move on to something new. I would have just been rewrapping the car and changing the wheels, and it would have been stupid, man. There's nothing more that I really wanted to do to that car. It didn't make any sense for me to just keep doing the same things over and over to the car. I mean, you finish a build and that's it. You had your time with that car. It's time to move on and grow into something else. And now look, the person who bought the car, they get to enjoy that entire car for what it is. It's all new to them. Whereas to me, I had it for so long. It's like 5 years that I had that car. 5 years. I've never owned a car for 5 years, ever. That's the longest I've ever owned any car, 5 years. Usually the most that I keep a car is for 2 or 3 years, and then I sell it and I do something new. And that's just me. I just like to keep things changing, keep things evolving, and try new things and just learn more. You know, every time that I get a new chassis or a new car, I get to learn. And I didn't, you know, I felt like I just pretty much capped out with that F30. Like there wasn't much more I could do to the 328. I couldn't do bigger turbos, couldn't do more power, would have blown up. So that was it. I did enjoy that car a lot though, and it seems like Evan is also really enjoying it. Evan is the buyer, the new buyer. He's taking it out to car shows in Texas, which is, dude, that is so cool. I love that that car gets to live an extended life beyond North Carolina and Charlotte, and these other people in the South in Texas are now getting to enjoy that car and have it be this local car. I love that. So I'm also heading out to the sticks right now because I want to get some more drone shots with the, not really with the car, but just in general, drone shooting out on the roads and just whatever, fields, sunsets, the whole thing. You guys may notice a little bit of drone footage sneaking its way into some of the vlogs. And I'm loving, absolutely loving using this drone for B-roll. It's just, I think it is a really interesting way to tell stories. So, oh my God, they are building a sick house out here. That's what I need to do. I need to buy some land out here in the middle of nowhere and just build a baller house. Just like a big garage with like an apartment above. Strad, man. Anyway, so I have really loved shooting with this drone and capturing B-roll for the vlogs. I feel like a drone is an interesting perspective and another way to tell your story. To, you know, when you have a vlog, anytime you do a video, the whole idea is there's a premise to the video and that's the story. So like, how are you gonna tell that story? And the drone has been a great tool in assisting the story. So like when you're traveling somewhere, you obviously show like, you know, driving shots or cars or whatever. It's just been a really, really cool tool to use. I'm learning so much about drones. Like I knew nothing about drones and I bought this Mavic Mini and was able to pretty much fly it and record like in a decent manner right off the bat. So I'm absolutely loving this drone and just implementing it into the vlogs. And I think that I'm just gonna get more and more creative and have more and more fun with it. It just, I don't know, I love stuff like that. You guys know me with like photography, filming. I like to just try new things and change things up and experiment as much as possible, and this drone has just been an absolute blast to use. And it was $400, dude. I can't get my head around the fact that this drone is so cheap. I mean, it shoots in 2.7K. I saw a range test the other day. Some dude flew his Mavic Mini 3 miles, 200 feet in the sky and 3 miles out and 3 miles back, dude. That's insane. That's insane. On a $400 drone, and he didn't have any like interruptions in the signal. It worked perfectly, filmed the whole time. He flew that little bugger out 3 miles. Animal. All right, so this is a really fun stretch of road. It like goes up and gets all windy. It's just sick. And it's super clean road too, so let's do some rips. This car handles so well with these big old wheels and tires and the springs. It's just planted, man. Whole lot better than the F30, I'll tell you that much. And I'm really not even like, I'm not going hard on it. I'm being super, super gentle on this car. I'm a little bit hesitant to just go nuts with this car yet because I haven't done the rod bearings, and that just kind of sits in the back of my mind, you know. I just don't want to be that guy, you know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy that didn't listen and sent it a little bit too early and then ended up with a spun rod bearing. That would be bad. So yeah, we talked about all of the new mods that are coming up for the car, short little list, but obviously the maintenance stuff, and then the intake exhaust, all that. For the exhaust setup, I'm not sure if I'm gonna do like test pipes or if I'm gonna do headers or what. I need to do a little more research on that because I really don't want to go back to like having a ton of drone when I actually get like a nice full exhaust. I'm trying to find like the perfect medium, and like exhausts are funny that way. Like I had it dialed on the F30. Like it sounded really, really good with the catted downpipe and the AWE tuning exhaust. And I was considering mid pipes, but I rode in one that had mid pipes and it was just way too obnoxiously loud. So like, I'm not trying to be the loudest person on the road. That is not my goal. I'm trying to find like that tasteful medium with exhausts. So yeah, lots of updates, but all things are good. All things in life and everything, life, channel, car, all things are great, guys. I'm just absolutely living it right now, loving life. I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in my entire life. I don't really share a lot of that with you guys, but I used to be, you know, a long time ago, I used to be like a big time cyclist. So I was in really good shape. And then I stopped riding because I had a lot of knee issues and a few other things, but I basically stopped riding bikes. And I gained a bunch of weight. I gained like 30 pounds, 35 pounds or something like that. I was like the heaviest I've ever been in my life. And that was like when I started the channel, or a little bit after I started the channel. And you can literally see it. Like if you go back and watch some of my older videos, I just look super fat. But I basically like 7 months ago or so, like 6 or 7 months ago, I really started hitting the gym, and I gave myself like a strict diet regimen. And now like I hit the gym every morning, but back then it wasn't something I was used to. So really started hitting the gym and like taking fitness seriously, and I'm down to, I dropped like 35 pounds, and like I have the most muscle that I've ever had on me, and I'm like in super good shape. My endurance and stamina is like through the roof. I'm just really happy with, like, dude, mind, body, soul. I'm telling you guys right now, like, if you are feeling depressed in life or you're just not happy with where you're at, make sure that you find like a good diet and a good workout regimen, because that is so, I wouldn't know what to do with myself if I wasn't working out in the mornings and having like a very clean, structured diet. Like, my diet is super basic and super clean. I rarely eat out. I don't really drink ever. Once in a blue moon I'll have like a beer or a glass of wine, but I really don't drink much. It's just not my thing. And my eating is really clean. Like, I eat a lot of whole foods. So I really found myself in having a good workout regimen that I do every morning. It's the first thing I do in the morning is I work out. And it's not like, you know, when I say workout, it's not like I'm lifting weights every morning. Some mornings it's as simple as just a incline treadmill, 20 minutes. I incline it to like 14.5% and like 3.1 miles per hour. And I do that for 20 minutes every morning. Every single morning I do that. And I literally cannot function throughout the rest of the day unless I do that. And it just like jet starts my day in like the perfect direction. So I do that, and then every other day I lift weights. So I'll do the 20 minutes on the treadmill, incline. So I'll do like upper body on one day, and then I'll do like lower body the next, and abs. I do abs and like stretching pretty much every day. So that has, honestly, you guys, man, if you are struggling and you're having like issues in life, you should really consider getting into a good workout regimen and a good diet, because a lot of that starts with your body and the way that you feel, and you know, your diet and working out has a lot to do with that. And the better that you feel inside, the better that you're going to be projecting outside. And that's just what's worked for me, you guys. I'm not trying to sit here and, you know, tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what has worked for me. Sundays are the day that I generally just take off from the gym and any responsibilities, really. So I just have a day to do me, whether I just go hiking or relax with friends or do stuff like this, whatever. I take one day, always take one day to kind of reset, gear up for the week, and just absolutely make sure that I'm on my top form and ready to crush it. Yeah, so I spent all morning reorganizing the garages, because the F30 garage, now that the car isn't in there, I'm literally like storing all my car parts in there. So it's kind of turning into like a storage room, which is it's kind of funny, but so I reorganized everything and threw out, like, I had so much junk in there that I had to throw out, and then cleaned up the E90 garage and just got it spotless, just dialed, so I can just get to work in there, do detailing and videos. I really try to set up that garage so I can walk in there and press record and just go. I don't like hitting roadblocks when I'm gonna make videos, you know, because things aren't ready. I like to just have it set up so I can just go and let the creativity flow. I find that anytime that I have to reset things up or just take more time to get into the video, it's harder to make that video. So, you know, when you're doing 3-4 videos per week, that's something that kind of weighs on you, and you gotta find a process that works best. Like, that's only 3,000 RPMs. Like, the car sounds like it's revving high, but at 3,000 RPMs, this car goes to 8,500 or 8,400. Go to 8,400. Isn't that crazy though? Like, it sounds so aggressive at 3,000 RPMs, and this thing goes all the way up to 8,400 RPMs. Like, when you get up there, and I've only done it a couple of times, because remember, like I said, trying to be cautious with the rod bearing thing. When you get up to 8,400 RPMs, this thing sounds unbelievable. And a lot of people say that when you get an exhaust on this car, it becomes really addicting to hear those high RPMs because it sounds so good. So people get like a lot of tickets and run into a lot of issues. Thankfully not the case with me. But I mean, I know with just a muffler delete, I can see where that is coming from. I can see why that happens to people, because it really does sound so good. I will say that this car needs different seats. These seats are not not my jam. I want something that's much more sporty. These are comfortable, but I'm never gonna be doing like road trips in this car. It's just not that kind of car, and like the gas mileage proves that to me. But I'm definitely gonna be putting some nice Recaro seats in this car so I can just send it and I'm like fully secured. You just don't feel, I don't know, you just don't feel that great in these seats. Like they just don't cup you enough, you know? I want some seats that are just bucket, man, that just grab you and that just hold you in the turns. Like the suspension and like cornering, and eventually I do want to take this car out on a track. You just want to have a nice seat setup because you feel so much more connected to the car. It was kind of like the steering wheel. Like this steering wheel makes me feel super connected to this car. And I've heard the same situation goes for seats. You get some bucket seats and you just feel even more connected to the car. So that is something that is going to happen. This interior is going to be banging. Once I do the seats and I do that half roll cage, this interior is going to be... Anyways, guys, just wanted to do a little ride along with you guys, get you all caught up with everything in life, the cars, maybe drop some knowledge. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like button. I appreciate all you guys following along on this journey of YouTube. I do appreciate it. We'll talk more about the new cars and what I'm looking at. You know, every car that I look at, I'm gonna try and make a video for it and just kind of document that whole experience of trying to find a new car. I'm open to so many different possibilities. I'm not simply just looking at one car. I'm looking at a bunch of different cars for a lot of reasons. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Please do subscribe, comment down below, like this video, hit that bell notification. And just like that, this video is over. I'm out. Peace.